And we are back for the last 9 holes of Moving Day here at the 2024 Swedish Open presented by Kastaplast. 7th stop on the DGPT Europe this season, MPO lead card. It's been great action on the front 9 and yeah, let's enjoy this.
Yeah, nice to be back here for the back that is a little bit more scoreable than the front. Potentially a lot more birdie chances. Most of the most difficult holes on the course are going to be on that front 9, so on this back 9 a lot of par 3s, a lot of short par 4s, only really hole 18 being really difficult.
Exactly. So yeah, if you went through the first 9 holes pretty decently, you're in position to attack the back and to shoot a great score. As we see the scoreboard right now, Roland tied 4th, so yeah, nobody in the lead is in the lead right now. So yeah, let's see how everything is ending up.
Yeah, a couple of really hot rounds by the field. You could see that Ricky Iwasaki shooting a 10 under after +1 yesterday, and Dennis Augustsson also with a 10 under already. As we're moving on to a hole number 10, it's a pretty simple par 4, pretty short one too, only 145 meters off the tee. Most basic straight mid-range or putter shot, you just need about 85 meters of distance, and from there just about 60 meters into this green. Really the danger here is that OB short right and long, which you need to avoid, but other than that, a pretty simple hole.
Yeah, and James was pretty happy about this one. Was waiting for the live to be on and show the cookies we can find on hole 10.
They're delicious, homemade. I think today they had some marshmallow chocolate cookies. Such a good snack during the round.
Yeah, the whole field was pretty stoked about it.
And Roland there, a little bit short right. He would like to get it a bit more in the air. And even though he is going to be short right, he probably has a forehand flex shot from there. And Paul here going with a putter a bit higher. Nice line though, still a little bit on the right side, but no problem, should be a pretty simple approach from there.
Yeah, open look to the green.
And James Proctor with the infamous Taylor, which he calls the Taylor Swift disc. He loves throwing that straight to slightly stable mid-range. This one's not good though, he's gonna be in the woods on the right side.
And Jakub now with the rock 3 in the hand. And that's a pretty looking shot. Yeah, man, he's up there. He's gonna have an open look to the basket.
Very nice, and Roland here. As I mentioned, it's a tough angle from here. You really need to hold the turn to the left. And he's doing that, playing it more on the safe side. If he wanted to be parked, he needed more flex, but that's really not a bad play. He's been making a lot of good putts from, or at least a couple of good putts from that circle's edge range.
Yeah, he's gonna have an opportunity from deep. And now James. Pretty decent. He's gonna be around. Same story as Roland. Long look.
You can feel the love from that guy.
Yeah, he's doing the show. He's great for the cameras and the energy in the group, and that's unfortunately going to BOB for Paul. He's gonna play from there though. This tree is inbounds.
Yeah, really kind of the worst mistake you can make here on the approach. You really have to miss left if you're gonna miss on this one. Like Jakub even here, that's way too far left, but still gotta be inbounds and putting from circle 2. That's so much better than Paul putting for par from circle 2 compared to that birdie putt from circle 2.
A long range look. Yeah, going hyzer, right side of that tree. It's gonna be an easy par.
Let's see if Jakub can get something going from here. A very long look, good run. He had a tough front 9 going +2 on the front. Of course, not ideal, and that's, losing strokes to the majority of the field, but on the back, of course, if he can pick it up, he's still in position to shoot a decent round. 3-4 under is something that he can very much do with a few birdies in a row.
Yeah, nothing crazy right now with the lead card. And Paul to save a par. Just outside.
No!
Yeah, man.
That's the third speed out, I'd call, of the round.
Yeah, but this one was so weird, man. Going through and the cage, just refusing the disc to stay in. So hard. It's definitely not the same speed out as we had on the front nine for Roland and Jakub. Yeah, really weird reaction.
Yeah, super unfair there. And, I think the players are just getting kind of unlucky right now. I don't feel like these baskets are particularly bad in any way. They're just a normal disc golf basket, but sometimes, when the odds are not in your favor, it can happen multiple times in a round. Of course, that's tough to see, especially on the lead card.
Yeah, and especially when the situation is not the best. Paul is even on the round. He was just going to save the par and keep going onto hole 11.
Yeah, luckily for them, hole 11, very scoreable hole. The best shot here is going to be a wide thrown turnover, a high turn or other with a putter or a mid-range. You really want that turn to be holding all the way to the end and hopefully land your disc pretty flat to avoid the cut roll. Of course, there's also the forehand play, which can, as we saw in the last round, can even get you to park, but more commonly to that 10 to 5 meter range.
Oh my god, we were mentioning that earlier in the round. But yeah, perfect shot and just landing on the root, bouncing. He's outside the circle, he should have stayed there.
Yeah, maybe not quite getting the flat finish that you would like compared to this one, for example. James is gonna get the disc to fade at the end, of course, fading a little bit long, but with that flat finish, not getting any weird reaction. It's a really touchy shot if you want to land it right next to the basket.
Yeah, you're right. And this one was definitely, lower speed, let's say, at the landing. More control. And this is pretty decent also from Jakub. Hitting a tree around the basket for birdie.
And Paul here, going flippy mid-range. He needs to get this out wide enough. And that's definitely wide enough. Let's see if it holds all the way to the right. Yeah, fading out. That was a little bit far off the gap too, so he's gonna have a look from circle 2. Nobody really as close as you could maybe expect on this one.
Yeah, and Paul was kind of frustrated at this point after the speed out on the previous hole. He was not happy, as you can see here. Yeah, even after 10 holes is definitely not his goal. We all know that. And Roland hitting the flag, staying on the bend.
James here to tie up the lead, and he's going to be right there, at least inside of this card. As we saw, the field is making some moves. So these guys, in reality, as of right now, they're actually not the leaders. But they have a chance to claim their position as the number one in the field.
Yeah, and this one felt pretty weird.
Yeah, he's a little bit nervous on the green. I think, being on the lead card for one of the first times for him in such a big event, it's definitely a situation that's kind of hard to adapt to, especially if you don't have that much experience. Of course, he's one of the best players in Czech Republic, so he has a lot of experience in his home country, but just so different on this international level.
And we are moving on to hole 12. So just one birdie on hole 11 is pretty disappointing for the lead card. Let's see if they are able to take some here.
You would really like to do it on this hole, as it's one of the easiest holes on the course. Par 4, Not the tightest, also not the longest, only 175 meters, and you can cut most of those meters on the first shot. Ideally you want to throw something straight with even a bit of a left finish to open up the angle to the green. And if you finish a little bit left, throw it about 110 meters, you're gonna have a very basic approach to this green. Need to hit a bit of a gap at the end, but it's pretty wide. Honestly, it's a hole that all of these guys really should pick up.
Yeah, important to take this one. Hyzer flip up for James. Kind of short, unfortunate groundwork going towards the right side. So yeah, tighten up the angle on the second shot.
Let's see if Roland can get slightly more left. This one is turning right though, needs to finish. And looks like it will, that's a fine result. You know, skipping to the middle, no problem with that. He's gonna be still a little bit on the right side, which is gonna force, I think, a slight Anheuser shot from there.
Yeah, exactly. Going for a flex shot with a stable disc maybe. And Jakub with the best shot until now, I'd say. He's gonna push to the left. And that's pretty nice for the second shot. Opening the angle. And now Paul. Yeah, looking for a first birdie on the back nine.
Get up. Yeah, that's just too low. Surprising miss there. I mean, of course the floor is kind of high on that left side, but man, I mean, he still has a chance to go for the birdie from here. It's about 110 meters. Going very high. Probably wanted to go a bit lower. This needs to get through the last trees. And yeah, it's a chance. It's a chance.
Decent result, knowing where the first shot landed. And as you can see, the angle is pretty tight for James. Yeah, good looking shot and a great reaction of the ground. He's gonna have 4 or 5 meters. Should be cake for him. And that's a perfect spot.
Yeah, really nice spot to be. You can see able to go with a straight to even Hyzering shot at the end. That's the advantage of being on that left side. And Roland here, forehand is either gonna challenge the trees on the left side or he will be a little bit right of the basket. Looks like the latter is gonna be correct. A little bit right, not too bad though, just about 5 meters.
Yeah, good shot. Again, 5-6 meters. Should be fine for him. And deep C2. Yeah, man, it went through again.
No way! These players are getting so unlucky on the green.
I don't know. You know, I won't lie, James was talking about even making a clip, a compilation of all the shots and the speed outs, you know, in this round, because, you know, we need better standards with the baskets. I don't know what to think. You know, I'm really not against anything, but that's pretty weird, man. 4 times in the same round is too much.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think our sport still hasn't really found that perfect basket that never spits out on a good putt. Even that one tried to bounce off the pole a little bit. I mean, I think, you know, there's a lot of talk about the speed of the putt. Of course, you need to control the speed a little bit, but the putt from Paul,
man.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong. It was Hyzering in, slowing down, and the one on the last hole too. It was, or 2 holes ago, it was really nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I would be interested to see what people think about that. Leave a comment. We'll also do something, I don't know, on Instagram or something, I don't know, just to talk about that. It's pretty interesting, you know, but too much. 4 times. And Dennis 10 down through 18. He was 11 just before the last hole. He's dialed and solo leader for the moment.
We are here. We are one. We will fight. We will fall. We will prevail. From the fjords of Norway to the shores of Spain, from the fire of Iceland to the hope of Ukraine, 30 countries, one voice. Go Europe!
Moving on to a very touchy hyzer hole, hole number 13. 112 meters. You're going for a tight hyzer shot. You need to be left side of this middle tree on the right side of the screen right now. And also left side of this next one on the right. Ideally, the good shot is either a high thrown fairway driver already on hyzer out of the hand, or even a distance driver if you don't want to throw it too hard. Either one can work. A lot of the good shots are going to end up a little bit short or a little bit right.
Yeah, and Paul, a bit concerned right now, frustrated. James first on the tee. And this is a pretty good looking shot, held by some branches. He's gonna be just inside the circle for another birdie. And we didn't mention it, but Roland stopped the par train he was into. First birdie since 9 holes, for 9 holes.
Yeah, great time to get it. And this is another good looking shot. Look at that. Even missing the last 3, he's gonna be well in the circle.
Yeah, 2 birdie opportunities now.
Pretty rare to be that close for the birdie. I feel like a lot of the birdies on this hole are coming from a similar range to James, you know, from that circle 2. And another great drive. These players are just tearing this hole apart.
Yeah, they are making it look pretty easy, but it's not. And now Paul, he needs a bird, man, as fast as possible. That's great.
Perfect line there. Possibly if he had a bit more height, he could have even got more closer, excuse me. But wow, that's 4 really good drives. I don't think any other group on the course did the same.
Yeah, really tough birdie to get. Normally nothing worse than a par. And yeah, drills it into the heart. James is 5 down now, 13 overall, tied second. Heating up right now. Second turkey also on the round.
Let's see Paul after a couple of unfortunate breaks on the putt. Good putt there. You know, it's quite often it can kind of get inside of your head if you're getting a lot of spit outs, but for him, good cleanup there.
And yeah, pretty happy about this one. He had some struggles on the green since the start. And second birdie in a row. Almost back to even on the round. He just needs one more. Yeah, pretty decent start for him on this hole 13. Yeah, maybe the only one of the tournament, I'm pretty sure.
I think that could be the case. That's really impressive. And Roland, all of the sudden, you know, having a lot of pars, as you said, in a row, but he's already 4 under on the round. That's a decent score at this point. A couple of very birdieable holes left still. Hole number 14, definitely one of them. 98 meters, playing a little bit longer with the uphill though. You kind of have uphill and a bit of a low ceiling, so really important to control the height of the shot. The best shot here is going to be a slight backhand turnover, usually thrown with a slightly understable fairway driver or a very hard thrown mid-range, depending on the power level and what the players are comfortable with.
Yeah, late turn for James. Good shot. He's gonna have a look for 4th in a row. Yeah, very nice start on this back 9 for James. Oh, and that's wide left, but
Wow,
turning, amazing line. Oh, juicy.
That's a great shot. I thought that was way too far left, but clearly knowing the disc. And this is going to be the other shot on this hole. It's quite rare to see a forehand get all the way down there. A lot of the times they're a little bit short right, but this is a great looking line. A little bit short, yeah, but that's one of the better forehands I've seen on this hole.
Yeah, he's going to be slightly obstructed by this wall. But yeah, should have a look also. And Paul for 2nd in a row. And that's a pretty looking shot. Yeah, a bit short, but he's gonna be there.
Is it possible that we could see the second star frame in a row?
It would be awesome.
Look at that. Jakub in. Great putt.
Yeah, starting well.
And a turkey for him, 3 in a row. That's gonna get him back to even par on the round. Of course, not happy with it, but being -9 at this point is pretty good position in the tournament still. Top 20.
Yeah, and he can take 1 or 2 extra birdies starting now. It was a good time to find his groove. And of course, James put this inside the chains. 4 birdies in a row, 14 down, tied first. He's back on track.
And Paul, another birdie. The star frame is looking extremely likely. As long as Roland doesn't get a spit out here, of course. As we saw one of them from him on hole number 4.
That's gonna be 3 turkeys. And yeah, everybody, we see more green boxes, on this back 9. It's pretty nice to see after a rough front. Moving on to one of the shortest on the course.
One of the shortest, I think the shortest, and probably also the tightest. Only 76 meters, but the gap is no more than 2 meters wide. Have to throw it straight with a bit of a right finish. A lot of players are going for a forehand that finishes a little bit right off the basket, or if you want to park it, the best shot is probably going to be a slight backhand turnover.
The man, for the moment, is he going to take another one?
Whoa.
Yeah, we were not sure if he was OB, but yeah, no out of bounds graphic. He's barely safe on the left side. He will have a look to save the par. And Roland going for the forehand, the other option.
Too far inside there. He wanted to be a bit more straight, hitting the right side trees there. It's a really fine line between pushing those backside trees with the forehand and still finishing early enough to the right. Pretty perfect shot there from Jakub Knápek with the forehand. Hard to get much closer than that unless you do some sort of a flip-up forehand, which is very difficult.
Yeah, very nice result for him. Another birdie opportunity. And Paul going for the backhand turnover. And this is a bit straight, going through. Ooh. And green flag. We were mentioning it yesterday, but breezy green, wind is blowing on this one. It's pretty hard to manage knowing that you were inside the woods for, a long stretch before. So you need to fight the wind again. And a good approach from James.
Yeah, talking about the wind, I feel like this course from that perspective is definitely one of the easier putting courses. I feel like almost no wind on most of the greens.
Yeah, just hole 2 on this one, I'd say. Mainly. And a bit on hole 18 maybe also. Sometimes. And that is an amazing putt for Jakub. 4 in a row, pretty important. 1 down now, tie 15th. Also back on track, pretty important.
Yeah, his game is looking sharp as of right now. I think it has to have been the nerves on the front nine that got to him, as he's playing like the leader of the tournament right now. As Paul here, good birdie, getting back on track, 3 under. He still has a chance to catch up to the leaders. We saw the leader in the clubhouse, Dennis, was at 14 under.
Yeah, there is room now, fighting to be in the lead card tomorrow. Yeah. James instantly said, get over this one, let's go next, forget about this hole. It was pretty rough, hard drive and almost missing right on the putt. But all good, that's a par. And as we can see, it's a pretty stacked field right now. 4 leaders, 14 down, only 13. And yeah, a couple players still playing also on the course. So yeah.
Moving on to hole number 16, another very birdieable hole, only 92 meters, setting up great for a straight to fading forehand. A lot of players are going for a slightly overstable fairway driver. I think it's a Firebird in Jakub's hand here. Really the only big danger on this hole is that right side OB, which you can easily skip into if your forehand is a little bit inside or if you hit some trees.
Again, weird reaction of the ground. Probably a root or rock again. Good looking line.
And Paul here. Oh, weird stop. I think he was distracted by a fly or something. Trying to go with a slight bit of a flex. And he just pulled that left. That was left out of the hand. Now he's gonna have not too long of an approach, but it's definitely not gonna be a birdie. Let's see James for the backhand line. I think the trickier line, but if you hit it good, you can definitely be parked on this one.
And that's looking great. Yeah, man, in danger with the OB long, barely inbounds. Good shot.
Was that a fairway driver?
Yes, exactly.
Pretty surprising. I think it's very reachable with a mid-range, especially with, James being pretty comfortable with that, nose down, slight hyzer release with an understable mid-range.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, pretty technical shot, the backhand on this one. So yeah, nice from him to be around the basket for a birdie opportunity again.
Paul here, touchy approach. He knew it out of the hand. There was one tree to miss on that line. And he's going to be taking most likely a bogey. He's over, I think, about 20 meters out.
Yeah, very long and very far from the pin. And you can see with his reaction, he knows how important it is right now to keep the shots, keep the strokes. Roland, good scramble. And yeah, it's even more than 20. With trees in his way. Yeah, going for some magic. Not on this one, unfortunately. Yeah, and Jakub tight angle.
Yeah, I want some nose up hyzer on this one. That's not it though. Too tight. And a bit of a tester left. Let's see if James can hit a great putt from the long side of the basket.
Yeah, thank you. This one is awesome. I'm pretty sure we will have a slow-mo on this one, well deserved. And maybe not. Unfortunate. Was hoping for this one. Hole.
I feel like it must be pretty rough on the slow-mo guys to, have James on the card. There's a high amount of slow-mos needed usually.
Yeah, that's a pleasure. I was the one doing them. And it's, that you need to be in position, definitely. And good save from Jakub. 7-8 meters tester. After the kick on the tree, now Roland to save the par.
Nah, that's a tough miss. This one definitely not a spit out. He was too far right and he's gonna drop 2 strokes back of James Proctor. Pretty big swing here going into the final round, Couple of strokes, especially, James being the more experienced player. They can probably utilize that 2 strokes a lot in the final round.
Yeah, with the experience, you're right. They need to keep some strokes. Hole 17 now.
17, another great change from the previous year. Just about 15 meters longer this year, playing at 110 meters. With the tee being a little bit back, it really plays best for a backhand flex shot for the right-handed players. If you want to throw it perfectly straight, you can do that, but it makes the angle a little bit tighter. So really making the gap as wide as possible is only going to happen by throwing that overstable flex shot.
And huge gallery on the right side of that fairway. And tight on the left. able to navigate. He will be 13 meters from the pin. It's going to be another C2 opportunity for James.
And Knápek here. Good gap hit here. It's going to be fading a little bit left. Really needs to sit down before that slope on the left side. And you can see the disc just gliding to the left.
Yeah, common reaction off the ground. And common landing zone on that left side. Good bounce back after, yeah, hole 16 struggles. Great shot, great control. Same for Roland. Needs some fade though.
Yeah, I love the line on this, but just a little bit too hard thrown, I think. I think if he thrown it a little bit soft, it would have been perfect. But still a look. We have both James and Roland gonna be outside the circle. Let's see James for another great putt. Look at this. An absolute putting clinic by the man.
Yeah, he's dialed right now. And again, already mentioned, but that's so cool to have that guy, yeah, destroying that course, destroying the green. Good vibe, talking to everybody, and that's great. Also well needed on Roland's side. 5 down, 14 overall, tight second. And James is now solo leader with 2 strokes ahead of the entire field.
Yeah, 2 strokes. It's not a big lead, but it's a very important lead.
Yeah, barely makes it on the left side, able to stay into the cage. Yeah, great putt from Roland.
Now Jakub from the bushes, unable to capitalize. We had a chance for another star frame here. Not gonna be the case though. And Paul, you know, interestingly enough, he's gonna be 12 under now, and in order for him to make the lead card, he would have to be 14 under after the round, as there is already Eetu Tuominen in the clubhouse at -13 and with a -7 round score. So if Paul and Eetu are gonna be tied after this one, that would be Eetu who is going into the lead card. And on this hole though, the birdie is definitely not an easy task, and especially not the eagle that Paul would need if he wants to get to the lead card. 235 meters with the OB right near this rock wall. Once again, it's a bit off the wall, so you can't slide up against the wall to stay in. You want to throw something straight as far as you can off the tee. Avoid that OB with a bit of a left finish, and from there, if you're on the fairway, you need a pushing hyzer. Hopefully get all the way up to this green, but it's also a good play to stay just below for a nice circle 1 putt.
Yeah, very hard finishing hole after the easier stretch. Back to reality in those woods. And that's low. But with the downhill slope, not sure. Oh, not able to see what's happening from the catch cam. Oh, looking good.
Great shot, a little bit on the left side of the fairway, but that is one of the more ideal drives you're gonna see on this hole. You know, of course, the closer you can be to that rock wall OB, the better. As Roland, he's gonna be pushing that right side OB, and he needs to finish back. And that's gonna be OB.
Because of the tree, man. It was coming back. 3 great looking drive. I can confirm that James is in an amazing position to attack the basket. It was a good drive. And just Jakub that was stopped by some tree on the right. You know, he's gonna scramble now for saving the par.
Jakub here, this is a very tough position. Going for an aggressive forehand anhyzer.
Oh, careful with that fade.
Fading back. Yeah, just OB by 10 centimeters. Can't really call that unlucky because it didn't take a bad skip or anything, but yeah, I really don't want to mess with that right side OB, especially on the second shot.
And
look at
check
this.
that out. Great looking approach from a standstill position. Over 100 meters, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And Roland, I think he's gonna have about exactly 100 meters. Pretty long for a standstill shot. And look at this shot. Beautiful angle control. It's hard to land it, near the bullseye on this green, as oftentimes if you get on the plateau, you're gonna have a lot of speed going forward.
And that's really hyzer out of the hand. Almost able to skip over that wall. He's gonna have a C2 birdie possibility. So we just have Jakub trying to save, maybe a par with a throw-in. Good control on the upshot.
And Paul here, important birdie putt for the tournament, and that's good. He's gonna be 13 under going into the final round. 13 under, it's a decent score, but considering that James is already at 16 and potentially will be at 17. As we take another look, a bit of a right to left wind here from Paul's perspective, keeping that hyzer putt up, and that's just beautiful read of the wind.
Yeah, great way to finish. Tough round for Paul, but still able to have that 4 down on the round. And that's just a confirmation of the putting clinic you were talking about on hole 17. 7 birdies on the back 9, 17 down, 3 strokes on the second spot. And also a great round from Roland, pretty steady, 5 down. For a mix and match round, he's pretty solid.
Yeah, pretty impressive. I feel like Roland never really looked like he was playing too great. He was just having a normal round, but staying on the lead card with just a normal round is impressive, especially from a young player like him.
Yeah, let's see. Dennis, Roland, and R2B9 will be part of the lead card tomorrow. And a lot of names. James has some strokes ahead. He needs to keep the pace tomorrow, and then pretty stacked field. 14, 13, 12 down. Let's go, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be an exciting final round. Will James Proctor be able to hold off the young guns behind him? We'll have to see that tomorrow. Thank you, Max, for doing this with me, and hopefully see all of you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys on the third round.